For this project, I wanted to make something that was outside of a gallery setting, as it is important to me that art is experienced outside of galleries by a varied audience. I spend every day in an urban environment, and the materials I've been using lately reflect this, so it felt like an appropriate space to experiment in and show my reflections. The sculptures are built inside cracks in stone slabs, which are at the basis of the phoenix flowers. These are sculptures in themselves, built to try to reclaim the space after the construction of the M8 motorway through what was once the vibrant Phoenix Park. The park is mentioned on this sign, which I came across just past the underpass. Many older residents of Glasgow have fond memories of this park and resent the loss of this and all the other areas around there in the construction of the motorway. My idea for this project was a continuation from my last, in which I started working with bike inner tubes to make cross sections, inspired by the connecting passages that I discovered between sugar transporting cells called phloem cells. I had the idea of filling cracks in walls with these kind of structures. I imagined the organic look would be interesting as it would imitate natural growth and create questions around what is organic and inorganic, and why organic life isn't growing in these spaces. The cracks I found in the slabs of the phoenix flowers were perfect, and were doubly interesting because of the history of the site and how the flowers have been put there, like a sort of compromise for actual nature. I started by taking rubbings of these cracks and cutting their shapes out of waste plastic sheeting that I scavenged from the art school skip. I used a jigsaw to cut the shapes. I then painted the cut pieces using acrylic and a palette knife, so that there'd be something at the bottom of the holes if anyone were to investigate. The design was loosely based on the shapes of the M8 motorway junctions as seen from above, and on the colour palette of Victorian rose garden. I then picked out inner tubes from my collection, which were of an appropriate width for the cross sections I wanted to make, and I began the process of laying them out on the bases, figuring it out as I went along, including cutting them to a uniform appropriate length and how best to attach them to the board. I was pleased with how the finished pieces felt. They were sturdy and pleasing to touch. I was imagining other applications for them, perhaps a large relief panel that you can touch. Then I headed off with my bag of installation supplies, stopping on the way at B&Q to get fast-drying grab adhesive and sticky foam, and off to the site to install the first 3 pieces of the 9 that are in the works.
Hi! I feel very self-conscious here. So far, only people have stuck to me like nice or people I know. Yeah, I'm fine.